The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC as it's fondly called, stands as a unique rite of passage for Nigerian graduates, blending the ideals of national unity, personal development, and community service into one transformative year. Established in the year 1973, the National Youth Service Corps is a mandatory post-tertiary scheme set up by the Nigerian government during the military regime of the head of state Yakubu Gowon to reconstruct, reconcile, and rebuild the country after the Nigerian Civil War, which happened for close to 3 years, 1967 to 1970. But in recent years, the program has been met with criticism from various parts of the country and complaints, particularly from the corps members, about their remuneration. Of just a few youths carrying out the NYSC being churned out in batches or in streams in the programs have been killed in regions where they were deployed due to religious, ethnic, and political conflicts. Now, besides security issues, today on Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue with a few individuals and serving corps members, what it's been like as no directive to pay corps members the 70,000 naira minimum wage. Join us in the next phase of the show. But before you do that, you do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across various social media platforms. The show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. We'll be inviting some callers on the show, and we'll be hearing from them while they will be sharing their views and opinions regarding the 70,000 naira minimum wage as it affects the NYSC. When I mean the NYSC, I mean the National Youth Service Corps program. Okay, we have a caller now on the show by name Olaiton Babatunde. Olaiton, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, I want to believe you've had the NYSC encounter experience. Tell us what it's been like under the previous minimum wage, the 30,000 naira.
Okay, looking at the situation of things, it's not been easy for corps members, but since the increments in the new minimum wage, however, it's not going to be affecting the corps member because we're under the special agencies. There are other sectors that are under the special agencies. So as a result, it does not affect the corps members, which I think is unfair because we all get things at the same price at the market. And looking at the fact that the corps members are starting life afresh from their family members, away from their family members and away from the comfort zone, they have to get new apartments, get food stuff for themselves. And they're still collecting 33,000 naira, which I think is wrong. And I think the government should look towards that part because we're all getting things at the market at the same price. So not looking at the corps members who are starting life afresh, it seems to be partial, although we're one of the special agencies, like they said. But I just feel like if it's partial, they can do more for the corps members.
Okay. Now, in 2020, the NYSC actually increased the allowances of corps members from 19,800 to the 33,000 naira, which you've just said. Months after a new minimum wage bill of 30,000 naira was inked down or signed, rather. Now, late July, President Bola Tinubu signed the minimum wage bill into law at the State House in Abuja, days after the National Assembly had passed the Minimum Wage Act in 2019, of 2019, to increase the national minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira. Ending months of deliberations between government authorities, labor unions, and the private sector, proceeded by months of dialogue with the labor unions, just to mention the Trade Union Congress, which insisted on a new minimum wage in the wake of the fuel subsidy removal and the floating of the naira, both steps skyrocketing the cost of living. Now, Lagos State, for instance, now had also doled out 100,000 naira some months back to corps members who were passing out. Now, this gesture, can't every state chief executive replicate this for every corps member who is actually going out or passing, not necessarily relying on the minimum wage?
Okay, looking at the revenue Lagos State generates, it can't be compared to other states. They generate the most revenue in the country. But regardless, even if other governments cannot do up to that, I think it would be better if they do at least more. There was a time that the Taraba state government said they were going to be giving the core members 70,000 naira, although I don't know if that is true or not. But if other state government can do more, it might not be up to 100,000. Paying core members 70,000, 50,000 naira would at least make them feel at ease. Even though the money might not really do a lot, it doesn't alleviate poverty as such. But at least increasing the money they get would make them feel accepted, and it would make them feel a little bit better. It would ease the tension they're going through, because if we look at what core members are going through and the minimum wage we're collecting, it doesn't compare. Talk of transportation to our PPA, talk of getting an apartment, like I said earlier, talk of stocking the house. You have to eat. If you're not eating good food, you're probably not living elderly. So you have to eat good food. And all of this has to come out of 33,000 naira. And you would also agree with me that that is nothing to the situation of things in the country. At the end of the year, calculating the 33K is about 360,000 naira. And getting a house rent of 180,000 naira, you have to move your things, you have to buy new things into the house, and you still have to spend for yourself. You would agree with me, any Nigerian will agree with me that 33,000 naira is nothing compared to how much core members are spending within 3 months of even serving.
So
not
it therefore
talk of a
means,
year.
sorry to cut you short there, so it therefore means that even the government on its own part is not actually fulfilling extensively by 100% the program which is set up to actually bring in the prospective graduates who have actually been churned out by institutions out there to be at least conversant with the states around the country being deployed. They are not even doing much for them, even with the minimum wage in question, which has not even been implemented on their own end. They still have to be reliant on the minimum wage from their own parents.
Yes, definitely. Most people rely on the funds they get from their parents to survive. Now, if the state government can also do well probably by themselves, giving us a meager amount of 25,000, adding up to the 33,000, that's about 58,000 naira, or probably just giving 30,000 naira, I'm sure that it would help core members. People that are in school, people are seeing school as scam because there's no benefit to going to school. So if the government can do this, I feel a lot of people will also look forward to serving their country. They would also believe, okay, I'm serving the country and the country is taking care of me. But what is the use of serving the country and still feeling like we're getting extorted? They're not taking care of us as much as possible. I just feel it makes the core members feel used, in my own opinion.
Okay, you've frankly speaking, you frankly aired out your mind and plights out there as a judging from what core members will be experiencing out there or have been experiencing out there. So it calls for an urgent attention for at least for it to be checkmated. Thank you, Olaito, for gracing us with your presence on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, still on the show. The show is Viewpoint. We had a guest on the show, a core member, Babatunde Olaito, who actually aired her views with us on the show concerning her experiences concerning the NYSC program and why the need for the implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage should also impact positively on the core members and also other benefits likewise. We have another caller on the show. We have Precious Momodu. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, can you briefly give us an experience of what NYSC is like for core members?
Okay, NYSC is a scheme where graduates are meant to serve temporarily, like serve their country temporarily, either in a school or any organization. Like now, you are a graduate. Okay, now you should go out there and share your knowledge and also learn new skills and learn new things. It's a scheme. Just the way we have like other countries. There are some countries that their graduate they go for 1 year military training.
Yes.
And all of that. That's just the way NYSC is.
Okay. Okay, going over or moving on rather, as stated by the NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps, there has been no directive to pay 7 core members the minimum wage permitted by law. Now, how could this be despite the passage of the bill by the National Assembly and the signing of the bill into law by the Chief Executive Bola Ahmed Tinubu? So our viewers and listeners out there, they would definitely be keen on knowing why there has been no directive to pay corps members the 70,000 naira minimum wage yet. Now, I will want to further buttress by asking, would there be or could there be underlying reasons which are known out there? Because even these corps members are dependent on parents who are also, I want to believe, some might be civil servants, some might be guardians, who will also be impacted by this minimum wage, which has been increased to 70,000 naira. Because the dependency rate or ratio should actually drastically reduce, because it's perceived or believed, particularly in our part of the world, that once you're out of school, it therefore means that the parents are done with their investments on that child. It's time for an ROI for the children to give back to the parents. I hope you believe where I'm coming from. Now, if this
Yes, I
70,000
understand.
naira is not brought upon or impacted positively on corps members, now, wouldn't there be underlying reasons which are unknown?
Okay, I would like to talk like objectively, despite the fact that I'm a core member.
Okay.
So yes, I don't know if they can point to the Civil Act law. They should point clearly. Let us see where the law states that core members are civil servants. We obviously are not civil servants, and we can't earn the same amount they are collecting. I don't know if you get me.
Okay.
Because, like I said earlier, NYSC is a scheme where graduates serve a country for a year, just the way other countries do. Our names are not in the civil service
Records.
law or act, but yes, our name, and we don't have, our name was not recorded in this. They don't have our name recorded, and we don't have any employment letter that states clearly that we will have to work permanently for 35 years, just the way civil servants does.
Okay.
So we should stop feeling entitled as youth corpers, as you core members, that the fact that the president has signed the bill, we self will have to earn. I will only just say, okay, yes, our money should be increased because with the state of things in the country. But I don't agree to the fact that we need to earn the same amount. So if the government even wants to increase the allowance of we youth core members, I feel 50,000 naira is even fair for me. It's even fair. Because basically the problem now is not even the government itself. The problem here is actually the PPA that we are being posted to, because most of these people, they are looking for free labors.
Okay,
I know of a lawyer.
could you enlighten us concerning where the PPA now actually comes in the whole scheme of things?
Okay, you know that after the 3 weeks in camp, everybody, all core members are being posted to various PPAs, either a school, a media organization. Some people they've been put some people to supermarket, different organizations to do their 1 year service.
Okay.
And you see some organizations pay their core members. I know of a firm that pays their core members 150K, 250K, even 350K. So imagine them collecting the 33,000 naira from the government. You had it to 350K. That's almost 400K. You get. So the problem now is not even the government. The problem now is, I don't know if the government can regulate this, and that the PPA, they should do better. They should treat core members fairly, because I feel people that are even talking now and protesting now, they are the people coming out now, those that are at the disadvantage.
Okay.
They are the one at the receiving end. They are the one coming out now to talk that we need them. Why doesn't it apply to core members? They are the one complaining. Or would you tell me that those earning up to 400K monthly, they won't come out to drag the government for a merely sum of 33,000 naira? So many of these PPA organizations, they're looking for free laborers. They pay core members 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira, and even 25,000 naira, knowing fully well that money is not enough for their transportation for the month. And also they are feeding with this way things are in this economy at the moment. So we should pour all our listen on our PPA and not the government, because the only thing the government owes us, or the only thing the government can even do for us, is probably if they want to make an increment in our salary, probably adding extra 10,000 naira or making it 50,000 naira is fair to me, because we don't work 35 years. We are temporarily serving for 1 year. And it's not right for us to earn the same amount civil servants are earning. I just see it as greed.
Okay, that's your own opinion. So in
Yeah,
totality
that's my opinion.
in totality or in entirety, what I can pick from there is actually the fact that core members on their own part, not that they are civil servants who should be entitled for the regulated or stipulated number of years as defined by the Constitution for the civil service or some acts that are in place already. The core
Yes.
members should actually, on their own part, be treated with some benefits. Why? Because they are actually serving the nation for some time or stipulated period of time.
Exactly.
Okay, that's nice for making our time to come on board the show, Precious Momodu. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
Okay.
Okay.
That was our second caller on the show, Precious Momodu, and we have another caller again who will be entertaining us with her own view concerning the issues regarding the 70,000 naira minimum wage and the NYSC scheme program. Why? Because it has been a slight topic of discussion which people have been treating as an oversight. We have Grace right now on the show. Grace Idealose, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, can you briefly tell us within a few seconds what it's been like for the core members?
Yeah, for the minimum wage, I guess.
Yes, for the minimum
No.
wage.
Oh, I though I'm still in the scheme. I'm still in the Institute of NYSC. So I feel we are being cheated because when we at the very maybe the 3 weeks of our NYSC camp, every activities we undergo is just like a civil servant orientation and maybe military orientation. So it gives us that entitlement that, oh, we are part of the civil servants, we are because we are definitely serving the government. So I don't know why they make us to feel left out about the minimum wage of a thing, because as it is now in the country, everybody are feeling the heat of the economy, even no matter, regardless of your status, regardless of your gender, regardless of who you are, as a core member or whosoever you are. Because when a student leaves school and he or she go and serve, it is like that individual is mandated to cater for yourself. Even because of the economy situation, parents incomes are not enough, so they feel you should take care of yourself. So I don't know how the 33,000 naira would be enough for us. As a matter of fact, when we went for orientation camp, they were giving us the history about NYC, that at the first history of NYC, when you want to go and sell, they have to give you a private a flight for you to fly down to your individual location where you have been posted to. Now look at where we are. Even you see, because of the bad road, you see many core member are maybe going to their different location where they are being posted to, with maybe different accidents or different fatal things happening to them just because of the situation of Nigeria. So if there is any advantage that comes in to during their course of service, so I think they are entitled to it too. If the disadvantage, they are going into it. So the advantage there should be a reward. There should be a reward. This 7,000 they are talking about is nothing. When you go to the market, an average Nigerian market woman will tell you, the government are paying you now. Why are you pricing? You know, they give us that emotional blackmail, but it's just it's a slap on our face. It's as if you are robbing the core members of broad day stealing or whatsoever, that you are not going to pay. We are not part of this 77,000 minimum wage, because things are not easy. When a core member go and serve, they are okay. Maybe if they tell us that, they are not going to be paying us this 77,000, then there should be a revolution. Okay, there will be accommodation allowance attached to the payment of the allowance they have been given, or other allowances, maybe transport allowance, because these people, you did not make it a mandatory terms that they are going to be paying us so amount. So since we are people under you as NYC Institute, then there should be a revolution of you paying us accommodation allowance, because most PPA are not entitled to give us that. So that is what I feel.
Okay, that was your own objective opinion, I want to believe. From all I could get in sum total was that at least the NYC core members, even if they are not given the 70,000 naira minimum wage, or the 70,000 naira minimum wage is not affixed to corpers, there should therefore be some revision about the matter. Why? Because
Yes.
of the prices of things which have also been skyrocketed because of the whole fuel subsidy and the floating of the naira. Well, that was Grace Idealose on the show, another 7 core member. We've heard it all from a few core members regarding the minimum wage, as they have shared their objective opinions as to being for or against, and whether there should be a revision as to whether they should be treated together with those who are actually affixed to the national minimum wage, which has actually been reviewed. Now, the new minimum wage by law comes as the cost of living soars in Nigeria and is actually subject to review every 3 years, as mandated now by Chief Executive Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's only thoughtful enough on the part of those in the authority to leave behind core members serving the nation all over the country. The show has been Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. You will do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across various social media platforms. I'm Odiawa AI. Thanks for watching.